Welcome, Aries, to your summer solstice deep dive forecast for the ascendant, the sun, or the moon. On June the 21st, we have a huge celestial reset as the sun returns to the protective Cancer, but also it ushers in cardinal quadrant 2, the next 13-week quadrant of the overall astrological year. Western tropical astrology, which I use, is based on the seasons. It is a Mediterranean construct. I know in the southern hemisphere it will be the winter solstice and the shortest day of the year. But on the screen is this event from a purely Aries viewpoint. I'm going to unpack this for you. By the end of the video, you'll have a clear picture of what's upcoming in terms of your vitality, work, relationships, and finances. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundell. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. But please also click or tap the bell notification symbol. Recently, Aries, we've had such a lot of electricity with Uranus having moved into the sign of Gemini. And it's still creating that, but it's clashing with the more emotional energy of the North Node and the more practical energy of the South Node. So we do have a very tricky T square. On one hand, very much about thinking quickly, Gemini, and the North Node very much about being in touch with our spiritual dimension, and that South Node very much about life's practicalities. And they're all competing. So the sun moving into the nurturing water sign of Cancer is really calling to us to just take a breather, get in touch with our foundations, our emotional foundations. That could be environmentally, where we spend the time. It could be about where we live. It may be about reconnecting with the people who really matter for us. But on the screen, what's sensational about this year's summer solstice is the link the sun has not just to Chiron, newly arrived in Taurus, which itself is wonderful, but also to the nodal axis as well, taking some of the pressure off the T square that Uranus has been creating. So if you have been feeling a bit overwhelmed or rather over revved around your nervous system, this is a chance to take a breath and just pause and get more in touch with a more healing dimension. Now, of course, Jupiter, planet of growth, but also faith, has been in Cancer for near to 13 months, but it hasn't had an easy time of it. But it is forging a very dynamic link to your ruler Mars. Mars, like Chiron, is in your second house. And that link between Mars and Jupiter is very energized, but it's also very motivating. If there are things that you want to bring about around where you live and how you live there, the chances are your passion can get you over the line. But Mars is also forging a fabulous link to Mercury. So though Mercury is in its pre-retrograde shadow, that desire can also be heightened as well. And then the moon, the ruler of the sign of Cancer, links brilliantly to your ruler Mars and then back to Mercury and also Jupiter too. And the moon's in the practical sign of Virgo. So we've got a lot of earthiness here, but also the water is working well too. There is a little bit of a challenge. It comes from Neptune in your sign, the aquatic Neptune. That's in a square with the sun, which is not quite exact, but that just suggests that it is important to have realistic expectations. However, there are still other energies going on, not least with Uranus and Pluto, Uranus and Neptune, and Uranus and Venus and Pluto too, which are much more outgoing, very lively. But I think this is an opportunity for you in particular to just really try to work out what you're wanting in terms of your immediate surroundings, who you want to spend time with, and just working out. And if you like, decompressing some of the excitement that's been so profound of late. But I think that link with Chiron is such a fabulous energetic connection. It's so incredibly rare because it hasn't happened since 1984. So if there is something that you want to change in terms of the physical makeup of your home, if there are improvements you want to make it more spacious or declutter or redecorate, or have a family reunion, or add to your family, or relocate altogether. It's all entirely possible with this wonderful event. I'm going to summarize those 4 areas of vitality: work, relationships, and finances next. But just to say, you can download my cardinal quadrants deep dive guide, and that's totally free. Please see under the video for that. Also, I've reduced the price of my personal horoscope reports. For many years, it's been buy two, get 30% off. Now, because of the cost of living increases, I want to make them as accessible as possible. So it's buy one, get three. The one you pay for, your life roadmap report, and the uh, two that you get free is your 12 months transit forecast, but also your draconic soul karmic analysis. Please see below for more. If you've yet to watch your Chiron 50-year cycle video, please check that out on the screen. If you've yet to watch your Jupiter No More Blocks video, that's on the screen. If you'd like to work with me one-to-one, it'd be an absolute pleasure. Please see my testimonials below. And if you've yet to sign up for my free daily written horoscope fired to your device each morning, please see that below too as well. So as far as energy is concerned, I feel that if you have been feeling a bit stressed out or maybe overwhelmed, this is a great opportunity to just slow things down. Anything to do with healing or being in touch with your emotions is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. But it's also important to pace yourself, and that's going to be the case for the next 2 years with Saturn in that first house too. I feel this can be a very productive time for finances, with Mars forging such a brilliant link to the moon and back to the lucky combination of Jupiter and Mercury. If you've got a home-based business, it really could start to shape up dynamically for you. As far as relationships are concerned, I feel that the emotional dimension is something that Aries people who have a reputation for being very action orientated have got. I feel you make a lot of decisions based on instincts. And in this chart, because there is such an exciting link between Uranus and Venus and Neptune, there could be someone who's captivating you in a more sparkly and charismatic way, but just ask yourself the question, does it feel right? And that's really going to be something you can use to guide you over these next 3 months. And as far as your professional situation is concerned, I think being around people that you feel very comfortable with is more important, perhaps, than the other benefits the job may have. So if you're working with colleagues that you feel very comfortable with, or in an organization that culturally works for you, I think that's going to be something to work towards too. It's been a real pleasure being with you, Aries. All the best, and see you again soon.